the Grand Valley of western Colorado. Surrounded by mountains and carved out by the mighty Colorado River, Grand Junction is a great area to learn about how our environment works, how it developed over millions of years, and understanding our interaction with our ecosystems. Mesa State College offers a number of courses designed to immerse students in a variety of field studies, simulations, and laboratory tests. Students of the Environmental Science program study 6 different life zones located in western Colorado. The river in particular provides a unique opportunity to see how changes in the environment affect plant and animal life.
My name is Tamara Minnick. I am an associate professor in environmental science. There's 2 of us that work more in the terrestrial areas, who are ecologists, and then Russ, who is more a chemist and more into the pollution aspects.
We do a lot with aquatic systems in our program. Of course, water quality is an important part of that. We have a number of instruments that we can bring out to the field, measure things like pH, dissolved oxygen, conductivity. Some other things we do to gauge water quality include collecting aquatic insects. If we find certain insects like stoneflies and mayflies present in the water, that's an indication that the water quality is very good. When we don't find those and we find certain others, that suggests that the water quality might not be so good.
There aren't actually very many environmental science programs across the country, and certainly not at a school as small as Mesa State. So that combination is just excellent because, again, our field sites, it's 5 minutes away and you can be on the Colorado River. Even in just a 3 or 4 hour lab, or certainly on a Saturday field trip, you can be in all kinds of different ecosystems around here. The faculty at Mesa State College instruct the labs too. So when we go out in the field, it's with a faculty member, not with a TA. And because we're so small, we can modify our program according to what's sort of going on with the job outlook.
My name is Kate Burden, and I have gone to Mesa State for 4 years. I have 1 semester left, and I'm in the environmental science program.
My name is Chris Rowe. I'm a senior at Mesa State College.
I had some friends who had taken some classes, and it was very hands-on oriented. You spend a lot of time in the field, and that's what I really enjoy, is just being outside. And with this program, you get a lot of outside experience.
Living in Colorado, we got a lot to see here. Either you get the desert or you got the mountains. I mean, you get a wide range of whatever it is you want. And it's nice to get out and see it, and experience it, and actually get to do some work to help preserve that.
And it's very practical. There's a lot of career-oriented classes, so it sets you up for a future. I really love the professors here.
As far as Russ Walker, he's helped me a ton as far as getting contacts.
You're constantly going out on field trips, and you meet people that might spark your interest, and so then you can get their email address or their name, and then in the future, when you know what you want to do for sure, you can go back and contact those people.
Currently I have 2 jobs. I work with the BLM with the Wildland Fire Crew. I work at the tanker base. I'm the ramp manager there.
I work for the Mesa County Department of Pest Management, specifically in the weed control section.
And I'm also doing an internship with District 51, working with his name is Petey Pope, and we are going through all the schools in the valley, K through 12, in their chemistry labs, and we're getting rid of all the old chemicals, restocking the new chemicals, basically doing inventory and cleaning out all the warehouses of years and years of chemicals that have been built up there.
In conjunction with field studies, simulations provide students with the opportunity to investigate sites which contain pollutants. Small amounts of pollutants have been hidden throughout this mock hazardous waste site, leaving students to determine not only the location of the toxic materials, but also the threat they pose to the environment.
We take a nearby house that's owned by the college, and I take very, very low-level radioactive rocks and bury them a few inches in the dirt around the house. The students have scintillometers, which register a reading whenever they get near radioactive sources, and they plan an investigation and then carry out that investigation. If somebody's trying to get rid of something without having to pay for proper disposal, they might bury it in a pit out behind the industrial facility. If there's a pond on site, they might throw it into the pond, because once it's underwater, people are rarely going to see what's in the pond. If the facility is near a stream or a river, well, you throw something in a stream or a river and it gets washed away.
Simulations introduce the skills needed to investigate contaminated sites. and come up with ways of cleaning up materials harmful to the environment. Environmental science majors have many opportunities to put these skills to work.
We're out on the west side of Grand Junction at a site where we're doing a small-scale field test of a bioreactor for reducing selenium in water. The 4 blue drums that you see here are 4 different reactors. The contents of each drum are a little bit different. We're trying to see which set of components that make up the bioreactor work the best for removing selenium. You can see a trench in the background here. This is our source of high selenium water. The problem with selenium in water is that there are places, such as the Grand Valley, where selenium is rich in the soils. It eventually leaches out of the soils, finds its way into surface waters like sloughs and backwaters in the Colorado River. The selenium concentrations there are so high that it affects the wildfowl and the fish that live there. What Jessie, one of our students, is doing, she's collecting samples from each reactor. Most of these samples we send off to a commercial laboratory for analysis. We analyze for selenium, of course, along with a few other parameters. The principle of these bioreactors is that naturally occurring microorganisms, which proliferate within these drums, have the ability to reduce the selenium that's dissolved in the water to an insoluble form. So the selenium is retained inside the reactors. The water that comes out the bottom, outside of the tubes that you saw Jessie sampling from, that water is low in selenium.
Trees are among the biggest indicators of changes in the environment. Dendrochronology, or the study of annual growth rings found in trees, can provide a great deal of information about the area. First, a 30-centimeter core sample is taken, prepared, and studied in the lab. One of the simple things that can be determined right away is how old the tree is based on the number of rings in the sample. The spacing of the growth rings indicates the amount of growth during wet and dry years. One interesting feature sometimes found within core samples is the appearance of fire scars. Desert climates like those found in western Colorado are highly susceptible to wildfires. A great deal of care is taken to prevent these blazes from occurring.
My name is Deb Kennard. I'm a new assistant professor here at Mesa State College, and I teach a lot of the intro-level environmental science courses here, and I teach fire ecology and fire management too. The students can actually get course credit doing structured research projects for professors. For example, right now I have 2 students working on a research project of mine that actually we're constructing a fire history of the Colorado National Monument. And to do that, we are aging the stems of both pinyon and juniper. And what we found is that they are both very, very slow-growing trees, and so they also both don't survive fire. So basically, wherever you find a tree, however old the tree is, you know there hasn't been fire in that place. So based on preliminary evidence that these students from the data the students are collecting, it looks like the monument hasn't burned for centuries, hundreds and hundreds of years.
Students involved with fire ecology learn how different areas are affected by wildfire. Samples are taken from several sites in order to determine what kind of fire might result based on the fuels found in the area. Fires in forests and areas with large branches are generally slow-moving, while grass fires spread rapidly and burn intensely. These different fuels are tested in the lab in order to assess the sustainability of the fire. Studies are done to determine the effects of fuel diameter on fire intensity, and the height of the flames is used to rate the heat. All of these elements are connected. They all help us to understand, protect, and restore our environment. So why should you be interested in environmental science at Mesa State College?
I love that we get to be outdoors a lot. I love the outdoors.
And there's so many places you can go that's local and really get some hands-on experience.
Just the constant outdoor activity, you learn very quickly through just being outdoors.
I like that the professors work with you and they aid you and show you step-by-step processes instead of forcing you to figure out problems on your own. They're there for you to help you out.
The staff here is really knowledgeable, really friendly, easy to talk to. They're always open to giving help if you need it and just being there to talk whenever.
I think the students in the environmental science program are terrific. They really come together and help out as a team.
I've been really impressed with the students. They all seem very serious. Many of them know exactly what they want to do, and they are very directed and focused.
The professors all get to know the students really well, so by the time you're ready to graduate, we know all about you. We can write a good recommendation for you, and we know what your strengths and weaknesses are. We help you with your weaknesses, and we're really committed to seeing you succeed, both professionally and as people.
I love environmental science, and I'm really glad to be here, and what a perfect area to do environmental science in.
We're very excited by all the great things we have to offer students.
Environmental science rocks.
To start your adventure in environmental science at Mesa State College, call 970-248-1993.